In the relentless and often unforgiving world of professional sports, success is measured not just in wins and losses, but in the confidence and faith of a fan base. For the Indiana Fever, a team that has shown flashes of brilliance but remains inconsistent, that faith is now hanging by a thread. A sense of simmering frustration, long palpable among supporters, has finally reached a boiling point, and the burning spotlight of public scrutiny has been directed squarely at one person: head coach Stephanie White. The recent 81-80 loss to the Dallas Wings was more than just a defeat. It was a catalyst for a new wave of outrage, a moment that crystallized the growing unrest surrounding the team's leadership. The tension, already thick in the final moments of a tight contest, threatened to completely boil over, not just on the court, but on the sidelines as well. In a scene that captured the very essence of the team's current predicament, a moment of high drama unfolded on the Fever bench. As the game clock wound down and the pressure reached its peak, Coach White found herself engaged in a heated exchange with the officials, her frustration with what she perceived as a series of unfavorable calls becoming visibly unmanageable. In that moment, a technical foul seemed not just possible, but inevitable, a self-inflicted wound that would compounded the team's woes. But what happened next was a powerful and telling display of leadership. Caitlin Clark, the team superstar who remained sidelined with a lingering groin injury, rose from her seat. In a move that underscored her immense poise and maturity off the court, Clark physically intervened, placing a calming hand on her coach and preventing her from drawing a technical foul. It was an extraordinary moment. A star player, unable to influence the game with her physical skills, stepping in to manage the emotional turmoil on the sideline. Her action was a stark contrast to the boiling frustration, a quiet but firm reminder of the discipline and composure required to win under pressure. The anatomy of a late-game meltdown. While Clark's intervention successfully diffused the immediate tension, it could not stop the storm of criticism that would soon follow. The loss, which dropped Indiana to a record of 18-15, immediately refocused all attention on Coach White's late-game decisions. The most glaring point of contention for both fans and analysts was her handling of the final moments of the game. White held on to a critical timeout, a valuable tool for resetting the offense and drawing up a winning play, until less than 2 seconds remained on the clock. In the world of basketball strategy, the timing of a timeout can be the difference between a championship and a heartbreaking loss. Critics argue that White's hesitation undermined the offense's ability to execute under pressure, robbing the team the opportunity to organize a clear, decisive final play. It was a move that, to many, felt indecisive and overly cautious, a symptom of a larger problem with her late-game strategy. Furthermore, White herself added fuel to the fire with her post-game comments. In a display of frustration that echoed her sideline outburst, she publicly labeled certain officiating inconsistencies an egregious double standard. While a coach's job is to protect her players and voice her concerns, these comments, coming on the heels of a tight loss, only added a new layer to the growing narrative of unrest. To many, it felt less like a defense of her team and more like an attempt to deflect responsibility for a strategic misstep that may have cost the Fever the game. A tsunami of social media outrage ***. The frustration among the fan base, which had been simmering for weeks, exploded anew on social media in the wake of the loss. The outrage was raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal. It echoed similar sentiments from earlier in the season when fans had already begun to question White's leadership and call for her removal. Platforms like X became a public forum for condemnation, with fans dissecting every decision and every perceived failure. One fan's comment, now widely circulated, perfectly captured the disillusionment. "Stop telling me what a great coach Stephanie White is," the fan wrote. The statement, a direct challenge to any supporters of the coach, was followed by a scathing critique of her tactical decisions. "This stupid zone has been a disaster. Her rotations suck. She pulls hot hands out of the game. It's insane. I'm sick of watching her screw these games up." Another fan's post on X echoed similar sentiments, framing the situation as an organizational failure. "Stephanie White needs to be fired. What are the Indiana Fever organization doing letting her sit there and sabotage the team?" The language was not just critical. It was accusatory and pointed, suggesting that White's decisions were not just poor, but intentionally harmful. The frustration culminated in a harsh and memorable critique that left little to the imagination. We got destroyed in the third. Stephanie Fraud, White is literally the worst coach ever. Her rotations and adjustments are absolutely disgusting tonight. The label Stephanie Fraud White was particularly vicious, a sign that the conversation has moved far beyond simple criticism and into the realm of personal attacks. A crossroads, the path forward. Now, with the fan base in open rebellion and the team still trying to find its footing, Coach White faces mounting pressure to make significant adjustments. The critiques are not just about a single game. They are about her entire strategic philosophy. She is being challenged to rethink her late-game strategy, to optimize her rotations, and to trust her players' hot hands. Moreover, she is faced with the task of harnessing Caitlin Clark's incredible leadership, not just on the court when she eventually returns, but also on the sideline where her presence is already proving to be a stabilizing force. With another crucial matchup approaching against the Washington Mystics, the stakes could not be higher. This is more than just another game. It is a test of White's ability to lead in a crisis, a chance to prove that she is the right person to guide this team. The Fever's ability to rebound from this tough loss and recent public outcry could determine whether White salvages her credibility or faces a continued and deafening chorus of calls for a coaching change. The spotlight is hot, the pressure is immense, and for Stephanie White, the next game could be the most important of her career.